Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Tabletop Trio Podcast. I'm Bob.
And I'm Graham.
And I'm
John.
Joe, all the way over here.
And we've got a very, very fun episode for you guys today. We have John from Whitehouse Station Sauce Company here.
Welcome.
And
Thank you.
as you can see, no Joe at the table.
No.
Joe's in a little tiny box here above my head. And Joe will be cooking for us today.
Yes.
What you got cooking for us?
Stuff that's hopefully tasty. So we've got some Brussels sprouts over in the corner that I don't think you could see. I've got two ribeyes that I have already cut the bone off of, and I have battered them beforehand because I wanted the batter to actually stick to the steaks this time, as opposed to the test run, which didn't. It was good, but it could have been better. So I've got them over here chilling, and I have just accoutrement of hot sauces and hot items that I'm going to be mixing into them. The steak batter was actually made with the crack sauce. So it was the Mill City Red Craft Hot Sauce. I used about a quarter of a bottle in the batter for the two steaks. So it's just salt, pepper, a little bit of baking soda, tiny bit of cornstarch, flour. I don't know if I said salt and pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. And then just a nice heaping amount of the hot sauce in there. Stir it all up, make it a nice thick batter. I cornstarch the steak first, then batter, then flour. So it should be really crispy.
So what was the genesis of doing this? Why the steak?
It's Yaz's fault. So we went to Yaz's table during Boston, and one of their specials was a country fried steak. I've never had country fried steak before. It was on my bucket list items, and it was amazing. It was so good. So every year, or every time we go to a hot sauce festival, I usually try to come up with some stupid recipe to incorporate just a copious amounts of hot sauce into the recipe. So this year I had nothing but country fried steak on my mind, and so here we are.
It was definitely an obsession.
It was.
And I will say, between the country fried steak that we had there, that you had at Yaz's,
Yeah.
and the steaks that Kyle brought, which Kyle's in chat right now. So hey, welcome. We had a lot of steak in Boston.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you haven't seen the video that the Full Slice podcast shared, and then we also reposted, we went feral with
most
those
definitely.
steaks.
You guys went feral.
Hey, you did too, for
Yeah.
other reasons.
The guys at Bone Sauce cooked the steaks, and they came out phenomenal. One of the best steaks I've ever had.
Yeah.
They were so good. And then Joe decided to go around the world
I called it Around the World tour.
and went to every single
I held the steak like a tasting spoon and just kept asking, instead of the little plastic spoon that you would get a taste of hot sauce, I was like, yeah, just put it on a spot. I was eating my spoon. And I got to every single place, which was impressive. I didn't think I was going to make it, especially because a couple of the places were like, try it with this one and this one. Ooh, and also this one. I'm like, wait, I have so many more to try.
Limited real estate.
I'm like, the steak is going quick.
Bob and I made the mistake of going after this steak the second we saw them and eating them like cavemen.
Really did.
we when I say we went feral, we just I grabbed the steak in both hands and then it was gone. Like it just went like that.
It was so good.
And it was the proudest moment of my life.
And nothing just makes you feel like a man than a piece of meat, a hunk of meat
So.
going down the gullet.
Yeah, I don't think you were. I don't think you got a steak there. So I figured I had to make it up to you.
Oh yeah, the the co-hosts of the event, just you know, you would think they'd get a little love, but no, apparently not.
Not with steaks that good. We destroyed those things.
That's all right. I understand there's some other podcasts that might be, you know, having that real estate next year up in Boston. Oops, sorry.
Any complaints can be made to the Full Slice podcast.
Yeah, we had nothing to do with this. We were just there.
A couple comments in the chat. 4M Watch says, Joe looks so good in that apron. Damn, why does that suit him so well? And Kyle says, my boys became men that day. And it was the funniest thing, too, because I was getting ready to, I think I was walking back to the truck because I had to grab something. And Kyle turns around and goes like, here, carry these back to the table. I got steaks. I didn't know where they came from, but when a man hands you a steak, you eat it. Like,
That is true.
you just have to.
I was gonna say, did you even question it? It was
Oh,
like the
no.
whole like, don't take candy from strangers. It's just on a whole other level. Eat this. How?
Yeah, after 30, it's don't take steaks from strangers. That's what happens.
Well, I failed, so.
Your parents didn't tell you guys that one?
That wasn't a thing for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brussels sprouts, a little bit of avocado oil, just spritzed on top, and then salt. This is part one of them. In the oven at 420 or at 400, I should say. And then I don't need this anymore.
Was that a Freudian slip there, the old 420?
Yeah, a little bit. Not even gonna lie, yeah, it was
Joe, how long are you putting those Brussels sprouts in for?
not long.
Not vague.
Not long. I'm not 100% because this is like a 2-part recipe.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta take them out. Then I have to put the sauce that I'm gonna put on it, and then put them back in. So it's like I gotta play this one by ear.
Step 1, step 2.
Yeah, I don't
Check
know.
'em
I haven't
as you
tried
go.
this one before. So
Doing it live.
we are. I know the Brussels sprouts are just gonna take the longest to make. Is the process. So that being said, carry on. I'm gonna start step 2.
Fair enough. Well, John, we got you here, Whitehouse Station Sauce Co. What have you guys been up to? I know Boston was a huge success for everyone. You got a couple other shows coming up. You were just telling us you got some new, new toys for the shows for your setup and everything. What you got new going on?
So we're looking forward to our well, actually, it was nice to get a little breather. The run up to Boston, you know, co-hosting a show there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes. I delve into your world of, you know, social media and stuff like that, which I have no idea what I'm doing. I did the best I could, and I'll be honest with you, we were blessed with good weather. And again, thank you guys, and of course, you know, Full Slice for just documenting everything and just making it so much fun. It was a good time. You know, we really had a good time up there. Coming up, we have a couple neat things. We're doing the Neshaminy Creek anniversary party June 8th, which is down north of Philly, Neshaminy Creek Brewery. Cast Iron Kyle is going to be there, as well as Ron from Hell's Kitchen. We're kind of going to just do a little sampling there and whatnot, just to get the lay of the land, so we'll be familiar with the footprint for the Philadelphia show in August. So we got that coming up. Then June 15th is Hop Sauce in Beach Haven, which is just an amazing event. Live music, hot sauce, great beer. Just every year, it's just so much fun. And, you know, the Jetty Rock Foundation, they give so much back to the local environment there. Like, they reclaim the bay, and they do a lot of stuff there that's really, it's a real nice benefit that really helps out the area there, you know, LBI. And
Sorry, the sound came across.
We have Joe
and
shaking
I had to
some
move
sauce.
I realized it wasn't shaking.
Joe's really excited for hop sauce.
Don't mind me. Turn off the camera.
They can't see this part.
But yeah, so you were saying hop sauce and all that kind of stuff coming up?
yeah, and then, we have some other stuff going on in the fall. We have the 9th annual Saucetoberfest at Schaefer Farms, the New York City Hot Sauce Expo, and there's so much going on This is the busy time of year, and we love getting together with all of our spicy brothers and sisters in the community, and I'm so blessed to be part of this great community, in the hot sauce world. It's great. I love it, and I know you guys are. It's funny. I remember a year or so ago when you kind of were just starting to get your feet wet. You're starting to, build up that tolerance.
I didn't even like hot sauce. Now I'm over here like, I don't think it's that hot. And my wife is like, it's hot. And I'm like, I don't think it is.
I think it could be hotter.
But we do have, I brought you guys a little gift in the gift box over there is our ahi amarillo sauce that Chef John put together especially for hop sauce. It's ahi amarillo peppers, onions, garlic, extra virgin olive oil. Oh, look at you. Joe's going in. Ooh. And a little
there was
yuzu.
Great pop to that.
It did.
That was a really satisfying pop.
Okay, this one's mine.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Can't sniff another man's hot sauce.
But he came up with
Rule
that
one.
since it's, down the shore, that's going to pair well with any kind of seafood, so I hope you guys will enjoy that little gift for you.
Fantastic.
I do cook a lot of seafood, so I am very excited about that.
So you were saying that with Joe and Bob, this is their kind of like dipping their feet in last year. Well, this was my first hot sauce festival, and it was amazing. The venue, the people, everything. And then this past weekend on Sunday, I was over in New York City at Bryant Park, and I actually saw Hell's Kitchen hot sauce. They had a little stand in Bryant Park. It was really awesome. Ron wasn't there, but the gentleman he had running the stand was fantastic, and it was really cool to just recognize people in this community that I'm just like I'm baby stepping into.
Yeah, it's funny, Ron. It's like he's reached the point where he won the trifecta of the Tri-State Hot Sauce Awards. He won last summer. He got the Jersey Devil Award for Best Sauce at Saucetoberfest. He got the Liberty Bell for Best Sauce in Philadelphia. And in Boston, he won the Wicked Pissa for the best sauce in Boston. So he is the Tiger Woods of the hot sauce world right now. He's amazing. He's an amazing guy. And if he's listening now, I'm sure his head's going like this. But
I actually have a sauce here for this. I didn't try this one yet. So, I tried it there. I haven't tried it in this. But it's the black cherry balsamic glaze.
Oh, so good. He is such a talented chef. And just a great guy. I mean, he was on Broadway in Hair. He's the Forrest Gump of the hot sauce community. He's like a brother to me.
He really is the most interesting man in hot sauce.
Yes.
I mean, between being on Broadway, being a voice actor in the Orange County Choppers video game, hot sauce.
Yeah.
What hasn't he done
At this point? It's insane.
His personality is like infectious too. Yeah. Talking to him at the festival was just amazing. I don't know. I was captivated the whole time.
Yeah, every time you talk to him, it's interesting, and there's a story, and it's something somewhere, and it's just like, keep going. I'm here. I got time.
I'm just here to listen.
8 people. They could wait.
For me, that's how you sell me on something. If I'm buying from a vendor and they have a story behind it, I'm sold. You got it, boss. Take my money now.
Yeah.
So Bryant Park, if you guys haven't been, it's like a bunch of little pop-up shop vendors. And while we were there, I obviously saw the hot sauce, Hell's Kitchen. But then there is a candle maker that works out of his apartment in Harlem. And he sold me immediately. He knew the second he saw me. He was like, this guy, if I tell him a 20-minute story, he'll buy all my candles.
This guy's buying
and
a
I
candle
did.
right now.
I did. He does really great work. I actually was burning his candle before I got here, and it's fantastic. It's one of the best candles. I don't remember the name of his company off the top of my head. I got it somewhere. I think I took a picture of it. But continue. I'll see if I can find it.
So what do we got going on now?
So I'm making the sauce for the Brussels sprouts. So I've got Yaz's Table Egyptian sweet heat maple syrup. It's delicious. And then I got a little bit of the Mariposa Spice Co. Bourbon Chipotle Honey. And a little bit of the spicy shark hot honey. So 2 honeys, 1 syrup, a dash of garlic powder, stirring it all together, and I'm going to basically base that on top of the Brussels sprouts. So it'll be like a hot honey syrup Brussels sprout glaze. And then I'm going to see if this works as a balsamic glaze. Instead of like an actual balsamic, it would just be a black cherry balsamic. I don't know if it'll work. We'll try it on one, and if it does, we'll plate it. If not, failed experiment. It happens.
That hot honey has been so good. I'm a big tea drinker, and that hot honey has been so good.
Which one?
With the tea, the spicy shark.
Because the Chipotle one's also delicious.
I don't think I've had that one yet.
But you will.
That is fair. That is
I've actually taken like Greek yogurt. I had a bottle that I got from Gabe last summer up at Smutty Nose at the New England Hot Sauce Festival, and I picked up a bottle of that. And I'll take Chobani or whatever, Siggy's, just plain Greek yogurt. Put a tablespoon in there, and it's really nice. It's just it gives it a little kick, a little sweetness. I try it in plain yogurt. It's delicious.
Oh, I might have to try that now.
Easy way to spice up a basic little snack.
Yeah, one of my favorite honeys is, I think it's called Greek Gods. It doesn't have a lot of the bitter that regular yogurt has, but it has honey in it. It has like a lot of honey in it. Now I'm like, yeah, but what if I just get a regular one and then I put my own honey in it?
We elevate the honey
Yeah,
game.
we elevate. All right,
And it's always those types of moments when like you just get your wheels turning. Like when we were at the Philly show last year, we're just walking around and Joe's like, okay, we had Jondiments, we had a couple other ones.
And
I'm gonna
had
make a
Adderall.
spicy mac.
It was my first time on Adderall, and they gave me Jondiments. It's like the first thing where like my brain was firing correctly, and it was just like, that one, you're gonna make a thing out of that. Go find. And I did. I scoured the area, and that's what I came up with. So
Yeah, we bought a case of that. We actually bought a whole case of the guy. My son was like, "Oh my God, why didn't I think of this?" It's so good.
I need to get more of that. That was the one where I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna be going somewhere else like right after the show. I'm not gonna be able to like throw it in the fridge right away. That is probably my biggest regret from Philly is not buying a bottle of Jondiments.
yeah, I bought one.
Because I'm a big like I'm just a big ham and cheese guy. Like that's my lunch. I'll do ham and cheese. I'll make a quesadilla. Like, something super simple.
I didn't even get to the ham and cheese. I devoured the whole thing with just cheese because I was using it as a replacement for mayo
Yep.
to put it in the pan. So I was having the spicy Jondiments on the outside of the bread with the cheese in the middle. It was phenomenal.
Oh my God.
I didn't even get past regular sandwiches. The whole thing was just grilled cheese.
And you didn't didn't understand how we just ate those steaks? You didn't understand that? You did the same thing. And you didn't understand the steaks?
You just put it on the
No,
outside.
because it was like a week straight. I was just like, why would I make something different? This is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Well, that's like I always talk about like when there are certain sauces that I call them a house sauce, not HOUSE house. It's like I will literally open that bottle and I will eat it every day on everything until it's gone.
Yeah.
Like for example, for me, like Ron from Hell's Kitchen, his Rockin' Rasta sauce, so good. Our friends, family band, we traded a jar of their pickled jalapenos. I literally ate it every day. It lasted like 3 days when I got home from Boston. There's actually like, I think it's called like Cowboy something. There's a nickname for it. Like there's a recipe for it, but it's so good. I mean, stuff like that. Like, I don't, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I reached out to John and said he may not be able to make it this year. He might be out of town. I said, well, listen,
guess we
I'll
gotta
buy
order
wholesale
ahead.
from you and
Yeah.
sell it at my table because people are going to want this.
This will sell.
Yeah. Yeah, the sauce that I've been obsessed with lately has been Maggie at DEF CON, her Yoda baby sauce. I like I said, I've been doing like quesadillas and like that kind of thing. I'll literally just cheese on a tortilla, dump the sauce in, And I've actually been adding Ron's King of the Wing sauce in there as well, just to give like a little extra bit of a kick.
Yeah.
Still have like the mildness of the Yoda baby green sauce. I am pretty much killed that bottle, and Boston was what, like 2-3 weeks ago, something like that.
Not long enough, Bob.
Yeah, no. But oh my God, I walked away from Boston with so much sauce.
Yeah, every
Like,
time. Every time I'm like, I'm only gonna buy like 3 bottles. That's what I need. I just need like 3. I'm not missing that many. 3 should be enough. And then I came home with 2 boxes.
yeah.
I was like, sorry. My wife was like, where are you going? I was like, car. She's like, why? I was like, there's more stuff.
more
And
sauce.
she's like, but you've unpacked all your luggage. I was like, yeah, no, this is the stuff part of stuff. And then I came back with just beer and then hot sauce. And she's like, that's more than a couple bottles. I was like, yeah, this is all of it. I'll be right back.
There was so much beer.
You got to give him the ultimatum. It's either me or the hot sauce.
Have you looked at the fridge? It's the hot sauce.
Yeah, the one shelf in your fridge.
The one
It's
shelf.
3 now.
The one shelf, Bob? I
Okay.
was just in there today.
Well, I was gonna say the one shelf is just beer. The others are all beer and hot sauce.
Wow.
It's the whole fridge drawers. Like
Yeah.
all of the cabinets you could open in the fridge to grab like normal people things, hot sauces.
So where are we at right now? Speaking of the cooking side of stuff.
So Brussels sprouts are looking okay. I have the sauce ready for the most part. I am now going to start making 2 different types of gravies because I don't know if one's going to get messed up or both. So we'll have like 50% more chances to mess up. is what I'm going with here.
He's a
So
mathematical genius.
I'm going to be using Whitehouse Station's Carolina Reaper sauce with cranberries. It's delicious. And then Hook and Arrow is blueberry ghost pepper. So I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of spicy pepper words. But they're really not that spicy.
So I've been using the cranberry, John's cranberry sauce on my peanut butter and jellies.
Ooh.
And I'll do the strawberry.
what?
It's
Thank you, Bob.
the strawberry preserves.
That open up something for you, John?
Well, you get
That'll unlock a little
you get
something.
people who have no like.
Oh, what do you put this on?
And I now not just a turkey sandwich, but PBJ,
Oh,
my
yeah.
brother.
Oh yeah,
Wait till I
I
tell Chef John that one. That's awesome.
did that peanut butter and jelly, and I'll do like the Smucker's like strawberry preserves.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And so it's got like the tartness of the cranberry, the sweetness of the strawberry, and that little bit of a kick there at the very end.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Wow.
The sweetness, it is.
Oh.
And it's one of those things where you can't like normally it's peanut butter and jelly day, yay. Not anymore.
Oh my God.
Elevate your game.
Saturday morning, my breakfast. I'm throwing a couple slices of toast in there and going to town, man.
Change it up, Do
Right?
something a little different.
Yeah, that's kind of been my recent sauce obsession is because we have so much sauce. We get it from the different shows we go to, all that kind of stuff, and it's just so good.
Yeah. Speaking of peanut butter and jellies, are you more of a peanut butter or jelly guy? Like if you're making a prime time PB and J, what are you going heavy with?
Ooh. Oh man, I'm gonna have to think on that.
All right. Same question to you, John.
So I was wondering, is this the part of the show where I'll start to go off on a tangent, and then Bob will get the fishing pole out and start reeling me in?
I'll just get the hook and just be like, eh.
I gotta be honest with you.
It's always that part of the show.
I would say, yeah, maybe a little heavier on the jelly because it's just your mouth would kind of stick together if it was too much peanut butter. But I'd say maybe 55-45 jelly peanut butter.
Oh no, I'm a little heavy on the jelly. I'm like a 75-25
Ooh,
kind of guy.
okay.
I'm a big jelly guy.
Nice, like almost like a donut.
Yeah, just Really get after it.
I'm
I go
the
Texas
opposite.
toast style.
You're
I'm the
peanut butter?
opposite. I'm like a 70-30 peanut butter.
You're like a dog trying to get the peanut butter off the roof of its mouth.
Yeah.
All right. I don't understand it, but I get it. I heard the words coming out of your mouth.
So I'm not a big fan of sweets. I like having a little bit of sweet, but not like, oh my God, this is like a sugar bomb kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the peanut butter to me, yeah, it's sweet, but not as like sweet, sticky, gooey, like, you know, as the jelly is.
Yeah, so jelly-filled donut off the table for Bob.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about chunky versus smooth? Is there a preference in that neck of the woods? Or
I like chunky, and my wife hates me.
I'm smooth.
okay.
Let me preface this. I've only ever had chunky peanut butter like twice in my life,
Oh, so you're wrong.
and I wasn't a fan.
I was a chunky kid. I think I'm a smooth adult.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I like chunky. I like to chew it because, and again, this goes back to
Textures?
my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are like fucking Texas toast style. Like I have like a 1/4-inch spackle cut of peanut butter, and then like another 1/4 inch of somehow jelly. I've got it. I have to break it first with the spoon, and then I get it like It's like I could lay bricks with my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
little mortar in there.
Yeah. I don't know how else to explain it. That's just how I do.
Have you guys ever made your own homemade peanut butter?
No.
It's actually pretty cool. You get peanuts and peanut oil. You get a food processor and go to town, and it's different. It's more natural tasting. It's probably way less sweet, obviously, because I think there is more sugar than you'd think in peanut butter, but it's actually pretty good. Something like, I don't know if you ever to Costco, they have like the almond butter, where it separates. It's kind of more like that kind of thing where you have to stir it because it does separate because there's no preservatives. But yeah, if you want to give it a try, get some peanuts and a little peanut oil, and it's very good, very earthy.
I gotta try that. By the way, the chat is going off right now. Kyle says, I stepped on a damn honeybee and took an antihistamine. I'm out like a World War II vet after Wheel of Fortune. I love you guys. Then he goes, Graham is pounding a Yingling. Hell yeah, brother. And then his comment about Joe is... Joe's such a good cook. I love Joe. I'm such a Joe-masexual.
Wow, he's just the Dr. Seuss of the chat.
And 4M Watch is asking, how's it smelling over there? And it
Good.
smells fantastic, by the way.
It does smell very well, very good, very good.
And I'm not a fan of the smell. I think it's more so the smell of Brussels sprouts that I don't like.
You're right. It's a little stinky. Yeah.
And right now, I'm actually doing pretty okay with them. So I'm not like...
Well, you're going to smell it more in 2 seconds. So.
Yeah, you just took them out of the oven. We can hear the sizzle, though.
Yeah,
They be sizzling.
questionable as to why it's sizzling. No, it's
It wasn't supposed to sizzle.
yeah. This is new. It's not supposed to do this now. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Just waiting on Joe to move the camera, and we'll get you another shot of the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Look at that. It's like Food Network.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
That
It's like I did that on purpose or something.
Just that close-up shot. Oh, and we're definitely getting the Food Network shot going right now with the just the hands just outside of the camera reaching in.
All right,
Our
so
own
we've
Vanna
got
White.
our little mixture, and I got my little baster, and we're just gonna rub it on in there, just a little bit on each one. It's gonna take forever because I make way too many, and this is very sticky.
This is going to be the whole podcast, just us watching Joe.
Right? I mean, that's normally how the cooking episodes go.
He's like the Bob Ross of the.
No mistakes, just happy little accidents.
yeah, which is good because I don't know if I have enough.
We'll just eat from that side of the plate.
Some will definitely get more than others, but that's cooking, right?
Right?
I noticed you guys are very quiet. Are you just staring?
I'm
Yes.
mesmerized,
We're in awe.
actually. The chat is popping off with some stuff.
Oh, that's good. At least there's that.
So So go over the sauces that you have again. That's in there.
So the sauce is not really sauces, so to speak. This is just honey and syrup. It's Yaz's maple syrup, the heated maple syrup. It is the hot honey from Spicy Shark, and it is the honey from. You could read it over there because I can't see it.
The chipotle honey.
Guy. Yeah, the chipotle honey.
God, those look so good.
Yaz's honey's the only one I've tried so far, and it was phenomenal on the
So
baking we had.
Yaz is the maple syrup.
Yeah.
So this is the sweetness that's going to come from this is going to come from maple syrup. So on the first time I tried this, because I'm not going to lie, like the day after we came back, I just wanted to eat this, so I just made it. But I made it a little different than last time. I put a little bit more of like regular syrup, and I did a little bit of other things, and then I seasoned them with like pepper and this other stuff, and I think I just complicated it. It was just a little too much, just across the board. So this time around, I'm just gonna go simple is better.
Well, it looks amazing. Smells even better.
It honestly, it does actually smell really good.
Right.
And I'm, like I said, not a Brussels sprouts believer
Okay.
at all. Yeah, so that's going to go back in the oven.
Back in the oven. Ugh. Not for too long, though.
So it's not like Rachel Ray where you have the other already done tray.
Yeah, I wish, but we don't have that kind of budget.
Yeah, there are a few times where we're like, oh, we could do this. Oh, wait, no, it takes like an hour to do. Never mind.
You got to do a lot of prep work behind the scenes.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about doing an episode. I just do like a baked chicken kind of thing where I'll do like chicken leg quarters, that kind of stuff. Throw some seasoning, throw some oil, and just bake it for like an hour. And that's something I would love to do on the show. Just don't have the time to really be like, all right, cool. So this is all I do. I just rub it down for like 10 minutes, throw it in the oven, put, for 30 minutes, lower the temperature, throw it for another 30 minutes, and it's ready. So like there's nothing really I could do to be like, all right, so this is everything we're doing. All right, cool, we're done now. We'll just wait an hour and we'll have it. You know what I mean?
Everyone just hang around while we
Yeah.
so we'll just wait to go.
Just chill.
Yeah. So how's your day been? Just stand there, stare at me as I'm trying to just attempt to do something else.
Okay.
So what do you got going on the stove now?
So, like I said, I've got two sauces because I have no faith in myself. So on the left side, I have the good old McCormick Premium Brown Gravy Mix that I definitely need to add more of. And then on the on the right side, I have bone broth. I have bone marrow tallow that I made. So I got some fresh tallow in there. And now we're just basically going to start flouring them up, making them a little thicker. Getting ready to pop the steaks in because the steaks are only going to cook for like 3 minutes. I learned my lesson yesterday. That was a mistake. I did 10 minutes as a test run. I'm glad I did a test run. That was well done.
I love that some of this has test runs. You're playing with some ideas, but for the most part, you're doing it live.
Yeah, because I don't know. I think for the podcast, the thing that I always tried to do was like, I don't know, it's a live show. Why not just do it live? And if you come out with something terrible, oh well, but we did it live. If you came out with something good, happy accidents.
Yeah, we live and we learn.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, you learn for next time kind of thing. I did the steaks ahead of time just because I had John coming on, and I was like, I should really just like, I've never made a country fried steak before. Like in general, I've never used it. I don't know what it's about. So maybe I'll try that one just because I feel like I don't want to mess that up just as like the breading and stuff. I didn't want to burn the breading and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure I got the temperatures correct and stuff like that.
It's unfortunate Chef John couldn't make it tonight because he could have been over there, helping you. I'm clueless as one can be when it comes to, being behind the stove there. But
yeah, there will always be future episodes. And we'll definitely have you on. I know we still have to make a hot sauce.
yes,
Yeah, we got to do the
where's the dartboard? Yeah, I mean,
Of questionable contents.
oh, that's gonna be fun. Oh, you could even do
What
this.
is this
Spin the wheel.
dartboard idea?
Oh, pray tell.
So this was
please.
So a year ago, on when they were judging the first
Boston
right?
last year. Yeah.
I asked John how they made hot sauce because I didn't know hot sauce. Like I didn't know there were this many like versions and recipes and ingredients. So I was like, what do you guys just like throw stuff at a dartboard? And then everybody laughed except John.
Bing! Light bulb.
John's sitting there. I'm going to steal that. That's my idea.
John's like, we got to do that. So I was like, we could do like the stupid stuff like olives, sardines, just like bad stuff. But then other like good stuff. But like just random ingredients. We'll figure out if it's good or bad on the fly. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Might surprise some people, might not.
Yeah. I'd even love to take a page out of the TikTok channel Roll for Sandwich, where the guy just uses dice to determine every part of his sandwich.
I love that guy.
So like his whatever bread he's using, the main, the sauces, the seasoning, and then his wild magic, which is just sometimes the most absurd things to ever touch a sandwich. And then he'll name it and rate it. I would love to do something like that with us where we roll dice.
Ooh,
and it's like, okay,
make different sandwiches too.
And we'll sandwiches, the hot sauce, like different things along those lines, I think would be just so much fun.
So let's set a target date. I think for Saucetoberfest. Hear me out here. So a couple years ago, we do a Reaper sauce and we couldn't at the time. We weren't buying mash. We were just using fresh pods. We couldn't get any Reapers. It was a bad year for the farms. So I went up to James Weaver up at Meadowview Farms where they have the Bowers event every year. I said, James, you got any? No, I don't have any Reapers, but I can give you a handful of these different super hots. So he gave me like 6 different super hots, and like they're called like Megatrons, left arms, revenge. And I literally, we made like a small batch, like 6 cases of what we called a super hot blend, and we made these labels. It was like, again, just low key, but we put James Weaver's picture on the label. He got such a kick out of it, and I'm thinking, we get this sauce together, right, at First Saucetoberfest, and we could do a small batch. We do it for, Bacon Fest, because you can't really sell it in stores, but you could do it like a cottage law type thing. We can get you guys, we'll get your picture on the label. We'll get the dartboard sauce.
With
it
us
would
on
be
the
such a
dartboard?
hoot. Yes, with you
Yes.
guys with darts. Let's do it, man.
The answer is yes.
So Saucetoberfest is the target date for debuting the dartboard sauce. How about this? How about like a dartboard and you guys are like, in. Well, you guys, you'll figure the label out.
Oh, yeah, we'll play around with the
We'll get
logo.
the sauce going. But that'd be fun.
Totally picturing our logo with darts like thrown in, like pointed into them.
Yes. And we'll donate the proceeds. We'll pick a charity.
Yep.
And whatever proceeds from the
that'd be
sauce.
fantastic.
Love
That'd be
that
awesome.
idea.
That'd be really cool.
So Joe's pulling out power tools.
Don't mind me. I'm immersion blending.
God, that thing is so heavy duty. It's actually got a plug on it. It's not even like a rechargeable thing. It's
Dude, it has.
It's straight up
listen,
plugged into the
listen.
wall.
It's got.
Oh, wow.
It's got speeds.
Sorry, I was distracted by power tools.
Sorry. This was the other mistake I made yesterday that I am going to correct. I made the sauce for the first time, and it was lumpy. Like you get like the little lumps of flour. So I was like, how do people get rid of that? Because you could blend all day with a whisk. It's not going to go away.
Yeah.
So some people were like, okay, you put it through a sieve. You put it through like a strainer or whatever. You could You could just pour it into a blender and blend it. But the best method is immersion blender. It's the thing it'll make it go. So I was like, I bought one of those recently. I now have an excuse. So look at that, though. I mean,
I can use the thing.
It smoothed. So, all right. Now I got to do it with this one, but I have to rinse the blender first. Thankfully, the bottom pops off.
Ooh, easy clean.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. The dartboard idea, just to see
That's a fantastic idea.
what comes out of it. You know, and even if it's anchovies, something like that, that could be good with pasta. You know, have the anchovies with the pasta sauce, something like that. So I'm really intrigued, A, to figure out how the hell we're putting something up on the board, and B, how it comes out. Because I feel like that's something we'd need Chef John to be like, okay, almost like a color wheel, where it's like, okay, these are all complementary, these are all going to work together. You know, this one and this one might work. Who knows? You know, something along those lines.
Right. So the base will be our base, which we know is, you know, shelf stable. It'll be vinegar based. So that portion, which with our recipes, that really never changes. The water vinegar content is always consistent just because of the pH levels. But after that, it's, you know, it's
Whatever
Wild
you can
West,
think
yeah.
of.
If you can think it, it'll go in there.
No, that's gonna be fun. It'll be something like I said. I think we have plenty of time. You know, Saucetoberfest is third weekend in September, so we have plenty of time to get it ready. Be a lot of fun. You know, I've brought Kyle in to kind of help me out on the social media end of things and marketing stuff. So he's going to be getting more involved with, of course, you guys as well. I mean, you know, like I love the team, you know, and you guys should get like a banner made up or something. Oh wait, never mind.
Oh wait,
Oh, is there one in existence?
oh,
now who has that? Is it
that is all Kyle.
okay?
Kyle has the
Allegedly.
banner allegedly.
Allegedly.
It did not make the trip up to
No,
Boston.
it did not. But hey, at least he didn't get salmonella poisoning this
That
year.
is
so
true.
that's, you know,
That is
That is
true.
true.
always a
We
plus.
all survived Boston this year.
He was
Oh
saying
my
that
God.
was like one of 30 cases in this area. And he had the worst one.
yeah. Apparently, there was a deli down in the Ewing area where he goes all the time, and it was a chicken salad. I don't believe it was made in house. I think it may have been like a national brand or something. But yeah, I felt bad for him.
Oh, that's a rough one. That's a rough one.
Well, and it's funny too, because going up to Burke's at the fermentary on Friday night, he came in and he sounded awful. Like he sounded like he lost his voice. Like I guess he was having just a really bad allergy attack kind of day. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh God, oh no, it's happening again. Like that the entire time we're sitting there, we're setting up, and you know he had already called me saying that they were running late and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, Kyle says he does have the banner, so
Okay.
we're good there.
I thought he passed out already. I guess he's hanging on.
But you know they're running a little bit late, and as they get there, and you know Kyle was sounding like you know just allergy kind of thing. I'm just like, oh fuck, it's happening again. Like no, 2 years in a row, we can't do this.
Not again.
So how are things looking over there, Joe?
They're looking. I feel like I have to do something with the sauce, but I can't figure out what. So now I have to figure out what is it missing. But it's missing something.
Joe, was
I'm
your
so excited with the smells that are
culinary
coming out.
idol the Barefoot Contessa? I see you're not wearing any.
It's because I panic showered before you got here. I couldn't find socks.
Yeah, I think there's a rule on Twitch where you can't show feet. I think that's a.
Am I not?
Also a rule on the Nickelodeon studios now
Yes,
that
yes,
if you haven't heard.
Ugh. And I think the worst part about that is the fact that they like their logo every now and then would turn into a foot.
It was the foot. That was the
Like-
logo.
Yeah.
Who knew?
They were dropping little subliminal
And let me tell you,
messages.
when my kids were those shows, like, you know, Salute Your Shorts.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my God. Like Rocco's Modern Life. They were the best. Like the 90s Nickelodeon shows were awesome. Pete and Pete.
Yes.
I'll never forget
Wild that they let us watch that.
My oldest son, Alex, was like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. And when Artie like I don't remember like Artie, the strongest man in the world, he kind of like went away and he's like what happened to Artie? It was just like, but I tell you, man, those shows were so funny. It was, of course now Ren and Stimpy, that was really geared more towards adults.
Yeah.
You know,
That was one show I was not allowed to watch.
So, I was a SpongeBob kid growing up.
nice.
Do you know how, like, the original idea behind SpongeBob?
No.
So, SpongeBob, when it was pitched, was supposed to be an adult comedy, like Family Guy or South Park. But the studio was like, no, you can't take on the big dogs. You're not going to get anywhere. Make it a kid show, and we'll talk. So, if you think about it, some of the jokes actually made it into the final show. SpongeBob lives in Bikini Bottom and works at the Krusty Krab.
Oh my God! Never put two and two together. Wow.
And they were like, yeah, children love this.
Yeah. That and, the whole living in a pineapple, the whole what the pineapple
Yes,
represents.
yes.
And there was the whole cursing episode. Like,
There's that will they, won't they between him and Patrick the whole time.
sandy cheeks.
Sandy cheeks, yep.
Wow.
Just
And you think they're just fun little, like, oh, that's just a cute little play on. No, there was intention behind that. Writers were sitting there going, we were hoping this was an adult show. We're not getting rid of all the work we've done. We're just not.
Well, that's what happened with Rocko's Modern Life.
yeah.
Oh, same thing.
It got to the point. Well, no,
He
Rocko's
was a
Modern
phone
Life.
sex operator.
It was a children's show, and then at some point the writer realized that they weren't checking what he was putting out, so he was just like, I'm just gonna make it worse and worse until they finally like, hey, you can't do that.
Until someone stops me.
No one was looking.
My iconic line from that show is, "Son, I have no son." The blockheads. Womp 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 womp.
See, that was me. That is how I still spell recycle. Like the whole song about recycling. In my head, I still go R-E-C-Y-C-L-E, recycle. It's just ingrained in my head. Whenever I have to spell the word, I sing the song.
That just unlocked a memory for me.
Right?
When you first mentioned the song, I was
Congratulations.
like, what song is he talking about? You
What's he
sang it?
talking
I was like, oh, shit. There it is.
How about the? And I will take the Doug song and change the lyrics. Banging on a trash can. I'll use that melody and just like put other words to it. Standing by a street light.
It's so funny you bring that up because I was listening to Spotify today, and for whatever reason, in like the Discover Weekly playlist that I have, Killer Tofu came on.
Really?
Yeah. It just came on as like new release song, and I'm like,
No, it's not.
what? There's an extended version. Like, and it was amazing. I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is damn good. I forgot this is from a kids' TV show.
Well, that's when movies and TV were really great, where actual musicians sat down and were like, yeah, we're making this for a television show or a movie.
Yeah.
Mark
They made
Mothersbaugh,
bangers.
right? From Devo did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was,
There's some gold in the chat.
Who lives in an upside down pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob swing pants.
Cat Dog, remember?
Oh my
love
God.
Cat Dog.
Between that, Angry Beavers.
Oh my
Beavers
God.
is one of my
Phenomenal.
favorite shows.
Those were the golden days of like, just children's programming, if you would.
And the best part is you could go back and watch that, and like, yeah, like the kids stuff will still be there, but the amount of adult themes that they hide in plain sight on those shows are just amazing.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like, just like with the whole Rocko's Modern Life, how he was a phone sex operator, like all of the be flirty, like whatever the list was, his 1-900 number on the wall behind. Whereas kids were like, oh, haha, that's a phone number. Adults are like, oh God. My parents did not like me watching that show. And I'm like, why? It's great. It's about a wallaby and his dog.
It's funny. It's kids show. Nickelodeon.
Yeah, his best friend's a cow who got milked. Like,
They did that in like everything, though. Isn't it Lion King where the grass spells out sex or something?
yeah.
Well, Disney's notorious for
Yeah.
hiding
For hiding
many
stuff.
graphic images in plain sight.
the
yeah.
penis in Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much of that. And nowadays, it's so censored, all that kind of thing. I think the closest we have was with like Phineas and Ferb and like those kind of shows where they still will have those
Like here and
more
there,
adult
though.
stuff like splattered in every now and then. But man, those 90s Nicktoons were
My favorite one, and it wasn't a cartoon. It was the original like Wolfman with what's his name? He
I know what you're talking about.
He got the he was in high school and he was a werewolf.
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf, yes.
Yeah,
With
Teen
Michael
Wolf.
J.
Keaton,
Fox?
right? Wasn't it Michael Keaton?
Michael
No.
J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael
yeah.
Fox, sorry.
So there's a
Close.
scene where they're playing the basketball game, and in the background, in the stands, there's just a dude with his pants down, just straight up, dick in the wind, hanging out, and it made it to the final cut of the movie. It's obviously, if you look it up, it's blurry, and you can't really tell.
Of course it's blurry.
But it's clearly his pants around his ankles, and he's just standing there, and you just don't get that anymore.
You see how now we're starting to tail off, but now that we're going in that direction, NASCAR reference, right? It was not Jeff Badine. Who was involved in the wreck with Earnhardt at Daytona? He was his good friend.
Ken Schrader and Sterling Marlin.
So you know the Ken Strader story, right? You
Yeah.
know, with the picture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it was like the All-Star race or something.
Tim Richmond. Was that the? Are you talking about the poster?
Well, wait,
Like
but
the
I thought it was
infamous
Kenny
post-
Schrader who, you know.
No, that was Tim Richmond.
Oh, okay.
That was
okay.
Tim Richmond. So, for those of you who aren't knowledgeable, there was an all-star race, poster.
Right, of like 9 or 10 drivers, whatever. Yeah.
The drivers all just kind of standing there, and then if you look over the shoulder of one of the drivers, someone's fire suit was unbuttoned, and something was hanging out.
Oh my god.
They say it's his hand,
We know.
but it's not his hand.
We know.
We all know.
And I love every now and then someone will share like, oh, I found this poster. Does anyone know anything about it? And it's the poster.
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh, not to be a dick, but hey,
Ho, hi-yo.
maybe you should not get rid of that, or something along those lines.
Oh my god.
And those
Classy.
those are just so. Tim Richmond was just an insane person, and
And an amazing driver, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, he was taken from us too soon. Like he was just so good. But yeah, he was in Days of Thunder, I believe, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Now, what a great driver.
It's a movie I need to rewatch. So many quotes that people talk about, like especially in racing, but that was Talladega Nights before Talladega Nights just being the NASCAR movie.
Oh yeah.
And with Talladega Nights, everyone knows it. Will Ferrell, Shake and Bake, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's always a good time.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey. Best line in the movie.
I will still quote that like nonstop.
What did you say to your grandfather?
Did you touch my drums? Step Brothers, come on, man.
Oh, yeah,
It's just
Will Ferrell's greatest work acting is in Eastbound and Down. If you haven't seen it, it's a television series.
oh, dude. Yes.
Not Elf.
Oh my god, it's phenomenal.
What's the
Not
main
Elf.
Not
character's
Elf.
name?
Eastbound and Down.
Because Elf had to all be shot in the streets of New York live. Which means the crowds in
Danny,
the movie...
the actor is Danny McBride. Danny
Yes,
McBride.
yes.
But
Oh, yeah.
what's his character on the show?
Eastbound.
Oh my god, he's so funny.
All right, I'm going to move this camera real quick. Because we're
Kenny
going to
Powers.
Kenny,
Yes.
Where he's a piece of picture, right?
Yeah,
oh my
it's
god.
the story of a
Kenny
former
fucking
MLB
Powers.
pitcher, Kenny fucking Powers.
Oh my god.
And Will Ferrell plays a car dealership owner.
Oh my God.
And the best part is like it's him. It's what was the actor's name who plays Kenny Powers?
Danny McBride. yeah.
Danny McBride and their other comedian friend, and they didn't script any of it. Every scene with the three of them is unscripted, and they just have to talk to each other. And the bloopers are even better because their whole gimmick is like, I'm gonna make these two other comedians laugh as hard as possible and ruin the scene.
I love it when comedians do that because that just makes it 10 times funnier watching them try to break.
Oh yeah.
It's funny you say that because I just saw where Will Ferrell in the infamous scene from Saturday Night Live where it's the Blue Oyster, and Jimmy Fallon says, he goes, I look over and he's wearing a t-shirt like this, like 2 sizes too small. He goes, it's the first time I ever broke it. He just started laughing in the skit, and then from there on out, like that was his thing. Like he was always known to just like break character. He goes, but I looked over at him and like, the shirt was like Will Ferrell.
I love the scene in Monty Python, The Holy Grail, when they're sitting there, oh, you turned me into a newt, I got better, that whole thing. If you watch the other guys of Monty Python who are in the background, they actually start chewing on their props to make them not laugh. So there's a scene when they're doing that, oh, you turned me into a newt, I got better, that whole thing. The guys in the background are chewing on their props because they're laughing.
Is that where they're all...
I'll bite you to death.
Where a bunch of the guys are supposed to be dead?
Well, that was another one.
That was another
I'm not quite dead yet.
Oh, you will be soon.
When all of the knights were in the room and someone was having a conversation, there were supposed to be knights in the background, like just posing, like very stone-faced, but they were just, and all of the knights were just like turning red, trying not to laugh.
Between that and the movie Life of Brian with Biggest Dickus, and how the actor playing Biggest Dickus knew that everyone was trying to not laugh, so he would do it extra hard. Like there was the one scene where he gets up into the next guy's face and just goes, Biggest Dickus. And the guy is trying so hard not to laugh. And it's not even in the script for them to do that. Like that whole part was not scripted or anything. It was just them laughing at the name Biggest Dickus. And it just snowballed from there, and they just kept riffing on it. And that's why that scene was so long, is because they were just trying to make each other laugh the entire time.
When movies or television series do that, it just makes it so much better.
It makes it feel more connective.
There's this scene from Django where Leonardo DiCaprio cuts his hand. That wasn't scripted. He actually cut his hand by accident.
I remember hearing about that.
And then he like rubbed it on the other actress's face and got her a real reaction of like, what is that? This isn't in the movie. This isn't it. And
the
they
scene from
kept
Goodfellas where Paulie slaps. That was not scripted.
Could you imagine? Like, I make money. You
that
just
was
slap
a
me?
legitimate. Yeah, that was a legitimate. Like he didn't see it coming, and that's why his face. It was like, oh my god! Like it was great.
But you catch that like rawness of the situation of like, yeah, this is a movie. We all know we're acting. You didn't see that one coming now, did you? I just assaulted you on camera and everyone's going to love it.
Kept you on your toes. It's going to be iconic.
I can punch you in the face. For real. But it's acting, so I'm not going to get in trouble. Everyone thinks it was great.
It's what my character would do. That's the same line as like D&D. If you're just an asshole at like the D&D table. And just like, well, it's just what my character would do. Not me. I didn't say it.
I'm going to give Bob like 3 Brussels sprouts.
No, torture him. Give him all.
You have to eat all this on this plate or you get no breakfast.
Clean your plate. You don't get... By the way, 4M Watch says we have surprise dessert in the fridge. So apparently I'm not getting surprise dessert if I don't eat all of my Brussels sprouts.
Steak's done.
I didn't even realize you put the steak in the fryer.
Surprise.
Surprise
Oh,
fryer.
that sizzle.
Not quite.
That's what they say in radio. You got to sell the sizzle. Anyone can sell steak. You got to sell the sizzle.
So, you guys familiar with? Oh my God, Bronx Tale.
Oh, yes.
So the scene, the iconic scene in a bar where, you know, like the bikers are not behaving themselves, and then Chaz is like, it's just nice to leave. Now you just can't leave, and he clicks the deadbolt, right?
Yeah.
I saw that on Broadway, right? And I'm thinking, are they going to do that? Like I waited the whole night, and they wheeled out a door, like, you know, like a prop door, just to do that scene. I was like, yes, it made my night.
Did,
That was
did
just,
it have the nice click to
yeah.
it?
You know, I mean, within reason, but like, you know, it was like that whole. To me, that was like that scene. It was like my favorite part of the whole movie, just where he.
I love that scene, and I love the put him in the bathroom. Don't let his money touch my money.
Was Mush
That killed me.
Was Mush in that movie? Was
Yeah.
Mush? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Don't let his money touch my money. Put him in the bathroom. I was crying because he doesn't say bathroom. He says bathroom.
Hey, I don't shine shoes no more.
I'm going to go home and watch that movie now. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I cannot remember the last time I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I'm going on a flight tomorrow, and the movie I chose to like download, Pulp Fiction.
oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Pulp Fiction fan. I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. But Pulp Fiction is just a
Why do I got to be Mr. Pink? It's not that movie, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a poor Steve Buscemi walking down the street and he gets cold cocked. What's that about?
I just love how he puts himself in every movie. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna toss himself in this role in this movie.
That was like a Hitchcock thing, right? Hitchcock was in Alfred Hitchcock. I think was in every one of his movies.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he did like a cameo. Yeah.
I love that. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, same with
Stephen King too, right? Stephen King did that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen
And
King
then
and all the Stan Lee
Stan Lee,
cameos.
Yep.
Which those were always fun to be like, oh, what's Stan Lee going to be now?
Yeah,
Because it
where's
used to
he
just be him
coming
in
out?
the background. Then he's like, oh, I'm a mailman. I'm a FedEx driver. Like,
And
I'm
it was
riding a
always
bus.
like a little fourth wall breaking.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a
And-
little bit.
And it was always one of those like you stare at the camera and just like, hey, look, I'm here, right? Hey, how's it going, guys? So, talking about Broadway, I saw a show a couple years ago now. It was the SpongeBob musical,
We're tying it all together.
right?
Yeah. Full
Go
circle.
full circle.
Yeah.
The music was written by Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco.
Really?
Oh yeah, let's
And-
go.
It had all of the classic SpongeBob sound effects. Like every time SpongeBob walked, every time the character walked on stage with their, they had it. They had
Squeaky boots.
They had a Foley guy on stage, actually doing all the sound effects.
Wow.
To the point where there was actually a gag in the show, like basically calling out the sound effect guy without doing it, where the actors would just be like, their step, and then step again, and like trying to keep like get the sound guy off his game, and they did it with that like the weird like womp, womp noise that Squidward makes every time he walks. All of that, all done live on stage. It wasn't some sound guy in a booth anywhere. It was just a guy with like the classic like coconuts for for the horse, that
He
kind
was
of thing.
brave, Sir Robin, Sir Robin, Sir Robin. He chickened out, he pussied out. No, I didn't. He didn't want to have his legs cut off. The
His
python.
penis removed. It's just so good.
I'll tell you though, the first time I ever saw a Broadway show, I didn't. My wife schooled time with her sister, and I finally went. And the first time I saw a Broadway show, I was just blown away by the overall level of talent, by these people singing and dancing. We went to see Hair, and I don't recall the actor's name at the time. It was one of my wife's favorite actors, but we waited afterwards to see him, and he comes out of the backstage door. My wife got an autograph and a picture, and he just kind of sort of just went off into the New York. Like, those folks are so talented, yet they can live like a non-celebrity life. You can just kind of disappear into the night.
It's got to be a little nice,
Yeah,
Not to be so
absolutely.
recognizable,
Yes.
but recognizable to your crew,
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just
A couple years ago, just before the big cough, my girlfriend and I went to go see Beetlejuice on Broadway, and we're taking the train, and my girlfriend's like there's this girl that's like kind of like catty corner to us on the subway train, and she's like, that girl looks so familiar, I don't know why. We get off the train, blah 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 blah. Turns out that was the girl who played the lead girl on the show that we were just going to see.
wow.
Just taking the subway with us, and she's like, oh, I wish she's like, I knew that was her. I didn't think it was her, and I wanted to, but I didn't.
never think they're just living a normal life with you,
Yeah.
because like they're
All right.
famous,
I've got a really cool celebrity sighting for you. It was it's going back about probably 7-8 years ago. It was Father's Day, so we were going to the diner. Literally, I walked from my house in Whitehouse to this diner on Route 22, right in Whitehouse. And I'm there. It's me here, my dad, my two brothers over here, Joe and Matt. And my brother's Joe's going. He goes, hey, that guy over there looks like Jake the Snake. So I look over, and yeah, it kind of looks like Jake the Snake, you know? I'm like, all right, whatever. And he goes, hey, I think that's Jake the Snake. I'm like, okay. So the guy with him, there's a guy with him who was not a wrestler, obviously. He was like, smaller guy, but he had it's like, TNT Entertainment. And I Googled him, and he was a comedian touring with Jake the Snake. They were on the way to a gig. It was freaking Jake the Snake, right? So now he had just been Diamond Dallas Page had just done a documentary about his. Jake Snake was addicted to painkillers, and Diamond Dallas Page had developed this therapeutic yoga, and he got him clean. I had just seen the documentary, and I walked over. I go, listen, Jake, I don't want to bother you, but I just want to let you know I saw the documentary, and I'm glad you got clean. And so me and Mr. Salesman are like, you like hot sauce? He goes, I love hot sauce. I said, don't go anywhere. So I walked home. It was like 100 yards away. I brought him back some hot sauce, and I have a picture of Jake the Snake holding 2 of our sauces. But
that's so cool.
He wasn't, obviously he was a big guy, older, not cut up, but it was so cool. I got to meet Jake the Snake Roberts, man. It was just like this awesome celebrity sighting.
That's
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, I've never had one. I don't think I've ever had, aside from work events, because I've worked with athletes at a former radio station. The place that I worked at was owned by the voice of the Eagles, Merrill Reese. So Merrill was in our office every single day, all
That's
that kind of
awesome.
stuff. But I've never had one of those like, hey, that's so-and-so. Never happened.
For whatever reason, I run into famous athletes in weird situations all the time. All the time.
Really?
Olympians, NFL
But
players.
bathhouses don't count, do they?
Actually, I lied. I had one celebrity sighting.
I lied.
How'd he know?
I don't like that.
Was he in the bathhouse too?
Yeah, what was I doing in the bathhouse?
The worst part is that made me remember my celebrity sighting.
So, Bob, where were you?
Yeah, go on.
So I was in Philly.
At a bathhouse.
It was during the Eagles Super Bowl parade. I had to go to the bathroom like crazy. So, and we got into Philly super early. We're towards the end of the parade, so we're just standing there. It's freezing cold. And just before the team gets there, I had to find a bathroom. So I leave my space. I was right on the fence, like prime spot. So disappointed in that. So I go to a couple different businesses. I'm like, hey, can I use your bathroom? No, only paying customers, blah, 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 blah. So I find an alleyway because it's Philly.
Yeah.
So I find an alleyway. I post up in my little corner. I start, doing my thing. And I hear people in the background, yo, Joel, hey, Embiid. Oh, trust the process. I turn around midstream and make eye contact with Joel Embiid.
Wow.
Like, as he's just walking down the alleyway.
Did he make eye contact with you?
Oh, yeah, we made eye.
What was he doing in the alley?
I think he was trying to, avoid the crowds and, get
That's
towards
crowd
the
you
art
wanna go
museum.
towards.
So I'm midstream, doing my thing. I just turn around. I'm like, because I'm
Did you
sitting
pee
there,
on his leg like
He saw the third eye.
Not for nothing. He had a triple-double that night and went on, a 3-game triple-double streak.
He was
So
impressed.
it's all because of me.
He was impressed.
You're welcome, Philly.
Bob's the one. Bob's
So that was, Joel Embiid. We shared a moment together.
I saw Zach Wilson on a train on the way home from a Mets game. We didn't think it was him, so me and my buddy talked the most shit. And I'm a Jets fan. Zach Wilson's a terrible
As am
quarterback.
I,
I
thank
stand
you.
by it. He's a terrible quarterback.
So what's that?
He will be good in a couple years. He'll never be great.
No, he won't.
And he wanted to fight us.
No.
He got really hot about it. I mean, he's a young guy. I'm a lot older than he is, and I wasn't bad. I was like, dude, sit down. We're not doing this here.
For real? Like Zach Wilson?
Oh, so we're sitting there, and the guys next to us are like, hey, I think that's him. And I'm interested. And, I was at a Mets game. Me and my buddy were a little tuned up. So I was like, well, who do you think it is? And they're like, that guy over there in the hoodie, that's Zach Wilson. And I was like, it's not fucking Zach Wilson on the A train back to Manhattan. It's not him. I don't even know if that's the right train letter. Don't quote me on that. But we're hanging out, and me and my buddy, we're both Jets fans, are talking the most crap about Zach Wilson. we're saying how he's a terrible quarterback. Oh, one of those. How
I got a knife.
he ruined our season. If we had any other quarterback, we would have been a playoff team.
Very
Da-da-da,
sharp.
this and that. And then he takes the girl that was sitting on his lap. That one's for you. The knife's for you. Joe has his.
Oh, okay.
He takes the girl sitting on his lap off his lap, pulls his hood off, stands up. It's Zach Wilson. And he is angry. He is angry. And
Well,
then-
if he was a better quarterback, you wouldn't be so pissed off.
yeah. So
what I said.
I stand up because reaction is body reaction is faster than my brain. And I was like, I'm not fucking fighting this kid. He's an NFL quarterback. He's gonna whoop my ass.
Cardio for days.
But imagine that headline: Zach Wilson beats up New Jersey teacher. I'd be rich, and I missed my shot. But on the off chance he slips, he falls, I catch him with a little quick right. New Jersey teacher beats up Zach Wilson. Now we're
story.
talking about fame.
Different story. Now you're being scouted.
Oh my god.
Now Dana White's at my door like, dude, we saw the video.
Hey man, I know Zach Wilson sucks, but like, come on now. You want to fight for me? We'll get you trained.
J.R. Smith, after he won a championship ring, he was at my college football game because his brother played on our football team. I was standing next to him, and I looked over, and I was like, not many people. I'm 6'6". Not many people can look me like right in the eye. He's right there next to me. I'm like, you're J.R. Smith. He's like, yeah. What's up, man? And I was like, what's up, dude? Congrats on the championship. Why are you here? And he was
Why?
like, my brother's Demetrius. And I was like, oh, I know. Like, I was close to Demetrius, but you don't think that his older brother's J.R. Smith,
Right?
It's wild.
So speaking of meeting celebrities, I met a tall one. This is probably about 15 years ago. I was at the Beacon Theater after I went to a John Prine concert, and I'm walking out and in the lobby, and I look over, and I'm looking at like this guy's midsection. And I look up, and it's Tim Robbins. And I'm like, I'm like, Hamid. I go, thanks for being a peacenik. I said something like, just because I didn't know what else to do, like, because I know he's like that kind of guy, and I just like completely fumbled the whole exchange. But yeah, he's tall. When you said you're 6'6", he's all that. I bet you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
100%.
6'6" is tall when you're walking around other. It's not tall with tall people.
I don't want to hear it.
Like
You get your shit. You get out of here. I
my
sit
whole life,
between
people are
both of you guys.
my whole life,
Oh, yeah,
people
I
have been like, "Oh, if I was your height, I'd be in the NBA." No, you wouldn't. 6'6" is the average height. You'd be a regular Joe, and you're probably suck at basketball. You're not going to make
You'd be in the backup team.
It.
Yeah, you'd be in the G League on the bench.
On
like,
the
let's
bench.
be real here.
You're in the practice squad.
It's not the height. There's a huge amount of athletic ability that
All right.
goes into it.
And Joe, that wasn't a shot at you when he said a regular Joe. He didn't mean it that way.
No, I am a regular Joe. It is what it is. Do I got?
The most average of Joes.
My favorite team in dodgeball, by the way.
Yes. Screw you,
Before I
Globo
bring
Jim.
these over-
I'm glad someone got that.
So before I bring these over,
Just
Bob.
looks so good.
Wow.
I got a thing for you.
Oh God.
But might as well open it before I get over there.
All right.
That way you have a little bit more space on the table.
Okay.
It's gift time.
So before the show, Joe hands me this. And honestly, it's wrapped like you'd get a hoagie at your like local deli.
So we're going to be completely honest. I found something that was probably better for you specifically first. And then as I was wandering, I found that one. And then I laughed so hard that I put the good one down and grabbed that one.
I'm going to open this and I'm genuinely terrified. Some ASMR wrapping.
Oh, yeah. There she is.
That is absolutely amazing.
I didn't know that Xena was on a NASCAR.
And the thing is, I remember seeing this car race.
I was like,
This is
first of all,
from-
that's tabletop magenta. Second of all,
I remember
That's
seeing
really
this
cool.
car actually race
Really?
in that, like in NASCAR. This is a beautiful car,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know they made a diecast of this thing. So that is
That's why I laughed.
absolutely fantastic.
I was like, who
Is it
died?
like Danica Patrick or something? Or
No, this is from like way back. Because it's Xena. It was when Xena was on TV, like Xena and Hercules.
This is Patty Mosey.
Wow.
Only got a handful of starts in the Cup Series. That is absolutely amazing.
Wow. Bob, your knowledge is impressive. You know exactly the driver.
I was hoping that there was like a sticker on the bottom that he knew.
I was telling John beforehand that like the first NASCAR event
Yours.
for me. Okay. The first NASCAR event I ever saw live on TV was a race at Bristol Motor Speedway between Dale Earnhardt Sr. wrecking Terry Labonte across the line and Terry Labonte winning and driving his destroyed car into victory lane.
So this was the bottled stuff. And then this was the homemade stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest, just like you said at the start of the show, I think the bottled stuff is better.
That's how it always works out.
But yeah, so I saw that and it's like, all right, this is going to be my personality for the rest of my life. And the fact that I actually remember seeing that car specifically from 90, I want to say 98, 99. It's got the old Ford Taurus rounded rear window. So yeah, probably 98, 99, I want to say. I'm guessing before I even look it up, so I'm going to look it up now.
It's more fun that way.
Joe, this smells amazing.
Yeah, I'm hoping it tastes like half as good as it smells. That's all I'm asking for is half.
I think my plan of attack is to slice the fried steak in half, which impressive job on the medium rare.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
got lucky with that one.
And then do half of the box stuff and half of the homemade stuff for their
So
gravies.
I also
There we go.
So I tasted that before on the Brussels sprouts. It works. It works.
What we got? Here?
However-
we got the Black Forest
However,
from
and
Hell's Kitchen.
it should be noted, it's spicy.
Oh, yeah. Black cherry balsamic. Wow, I
Yep.
can't speak today. Ghost.
not as spicy as the hipster repellent.
No.
That stuff, John.
Oh, you did?
I did the spicy marshmallow, which I couldn't stop calling the spicy egg. I don't know why. I think a
Yeah, he
spicy
kept
egg
saying
would be
egg.
hilarious, like a hard-boiled egg with some spice dripped on it. I think it'd be hilarious. But the spicy marshmallow, that should be a crime. Should be a crime. What are you doing? Why, you don't have to hurt people.
I just wanted people to stop because I'm thinking in my head, someone's going to die here.
So I was
We don't have the insurance for this.
I was filming him and the whole group, and then there was a group behind me, which I guess one of their friends was participating.
This is Joe's favorite story.
And Graham is up there doing his thing. He's like, "Oh, it's hot." I was like, "Yeah, I told you." He goes, "They're like, all right, who's gonna go round 2?" And then behind me, there's a lot of murmurings, and they're like, "That tall guy looks like he's doing good. I think he's gonna stick around." And I just turned around. I was like, "Nah, he's a bitch." And then like 30 seconds later, he goes, "Yeah, I'm out." I was like, "See,
Told you.
Listen, I'll have my redemption. I'll build. It's a slow build.
it's a slow, but yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the hot sauce isn't. It's immediate, like up front, like you're hurting. But I'm a
real
slow
quick.
build.
And in fairness, Joe did not do a challenge his first show. So you're already one step ahead. No, you didn't do Boston last year.
Right, I didn't do Boston. I started,
You did Philly.
Yeah, because they needed a stand-in for the pizza.
Joe stepped up.
And again,
I
mind
did
you-
try the
mind
pizza
you,
too.
I didn't like hot sauce.
That was the most proud part. You're just like, I don't like hot sauce. Fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah, second place, just destroying pizza.
So Joe, the darker gravy, that's the homemade.
Yes. This one is the box one. That one is the homemade one. So the homemade one is bone marrow, tallow, bone broth, flour, salt, pepper, blueberry, the blueberry hot sauce, the Carolina Reaper, cranberry sauce, and then I put a little bit of sugar in that one because I figured the reason the box one tastes better is because it's probably got sugar in it. And with all the sugary stuff that I'm making, I kind of should sugar it.
Yeah, play into that.
Because I was thinking of doing like really like just put fresh blueberries in and then add the blueberry hot sauce but I figured with so much fresh, you're gonna lose the hot.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened yesterday when I made it. I made it like a traditional gravy with like heavy cream milk kind of thing, and that was a mistake because the milk just completely cut out all of the spice. I had to use like half a bottle to get like some flavor, but then I was mixing like the acid with the milk. It just wasn't. It
wasn't happening.
It started good and then it faded real fast, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't taste good. So, but.
By the way, that was 1998, the car, and it's from the Bush series,
Oh, hell yeah, Bob.
which is
proud of
basically the AAA series of baseball to NASCAR. So I am gonna try the homemade one first.
Yeah, I'll get over there eventually.
Brussels sprouts are amazing. Oh my god.
Yeah, you should put a little bit of
that is
a
really
little
good.
dab of that on it, as it acts like an actual balsamic glaze, but it is toasty. So give it.
This guy know what he's doing. This Hell's Kitchen guy.
Yeah, this Hell's Kitchen guy, the guy that has like 800 awards.
Yeah.
What he's gonna need a bigger house. Where's he gonna fit all these?
He doesn't bring him to shows. He goes, I keep him in my little office there.
How could he? He's gonna need a whole other van.
Yeah, right. Need a van.
Right? Well, didn't Anthony say he put a whole like addition to his kitchen just for all of his sauces?
Right. He had like what 3,000,
Something like that. Yeah.
4,000, right? Anthony has like a lot. I was like, I don't know how you did it. I mean, I could see because I'm probably upwards towards 60, but like I can't imagine 30 times that amount.
Right. That is spicy.
It is.
Not over the top though. It's a comfortable amount of heat for me.
Yeah.
I'm not like
Yeah. But it
getting overwhelmed with food. Very good though.
it
Really
complements with all the
well.
honey.
Yes,
Yeah, it
100%.
complements all the honey and
All right.
everything.
I am trying a Brussels sprout plain before I try with the sauce.
Quote
Well,
plain.
pre-sauced.
Yeah, full of sugar and honey. Hit me with the sauces.
The homemade.
Yeah, well,
That is really good.
aha!
The
I've done it.
it's
Mission
It's
accomplished.
still like that little hump of like, oh, this is a Brussels sprout. You don't like this,
Now this is.
but
the
at the
homemade.
same time, it's really good.
All right, I'm gonna do a little bump there.
Yeah. I don't know if we can say that on Twitter.
Bump of
swear-
gravy,
I swear
and
he's talking about gravy.
Yeah, it's gravy.
and it's not like a bump of gravy. It's gravy.
It is bumpy gravy. I tried to.
Okay, I'm a fan of these Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
You have officially found a way for me to actually like Brussels sprouts.
Now, step 2. I'm gonna make you like avocado toast.
Here's the thing, though.
Stop messing my taste buds.
You know, stop ruining it.
I like guac.
Oh, then you'll love.
There's
my-
just something about full-on avocado. It's just the texture, the creaminess, where it's like, okay, this is a fruit, or this is a vegetable, or whatever the hell it is. It shouldn't have this consistency. I also hate banana. Anything banana, I will not touch. The smell makes me gag. The taste, the mushiness, can't do it.
Who hurt you? Banana's delicious.
Was it Donkey Kong?
No, honestly, it was probably my grandmother, but that's a whole story for my therapist. We don't need to.
We're not going down that rabbit hole.
No,
Different podcast.
not on a hobby podcast.
Tune in Friday.
Therapy with Bob.
where we unpack feelings.
Trauma. We unpack trauma.
It's like our D&D sessions all over again, just different trauma bonding.
Oh, love it.
That came real good this time.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of this. The steak is cooked perfectly. Still, the crunch on top from the breading and everything is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's that. I saw online they said to cornstarch first,
Okay.
then batter, then flour, and then let it sit for at least an hour, so that it adheres. So I did the cornstarch.
everything.
Apparently, the cornstarch makes it a little bit crispier. So I mean, it worked. It's definitely crispier.
Do you want to hand me the homemade? Because that honestly, I'm not even gonna go for like the box store stuff because the homemade is good enough for me. I'm a fan.
I started with the store stuff, and it was typical. It seemed salty, but the homemade's got, you pick up those fruity notes that you added. Right, you added some of the cranberry and the blueberry to that?
So they both
Very
have the
nice.
cranberry and blueberry, but I think it becomes more muted with the store because it probably
100%.
has the whey and
Yes.
stuff in it. As to where, like I said yesterday, I tried this recipe. And I was like, let me try the gravy, but I did it with milk and heavy cream, and the milk and heavy cream just mutes the sauces immediately.
Yep.
So I had to use
They really
way
pop in the
more.
homemade, yeah.
So this time I was
Very
like, all right,
nice.
I'm not going to do any milk. I'm not going to do any water. I'm going to do bone broth, and then I'll add tallow to get even more of like a steaky flavor. Traditional country fried steak, you use it with a cast iron. So you would do cast iron it, flip both sides. I think it was like 3 minutes aside, somewhere thereabout. Then pour out a lot of the oil, but try to leave as much of like the steak juice part, and then you would turn that into the gravy. Because I'm frying it, I couldn't do that. So I figure I have tallow from bone marrow. You could buy bone marrow at ShopRites now, apparently, for like $2 for like a big, nice chunk of bone marrow. So I made the whatchamacallit, you scoop out of the inside. So I grabbed that, I threw it in a container, seasoned it a little bit, and I use it in the fridge. I use it for just, if I'm going to use butter, I'll use a little bit of tallow.
Yeah.
But it's such like a concentrated steak flavor. I was like, this is perfect because I need steak. I need steak flavor in the gravy. So bone broth, tallow, steak flavor.
I love both of the gravies for different reasons. I do prefer the homemade one though.
Really?
Yeah. And then I like the whole dish as a whole because, excuse me, it has like a good heat that builds as you eat it. But then if you ever need to cool down, you have the mac and cheese there too.
Yeah, I was gonna make the mac and cheese hot. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna do a little bit of sauce just while I was stirring in the cheese because that is a thing. It's delicious. You do like
Yeah.
a Hank's or like a more mild hot sauce, and you just get like a pleasant. But it was like maybe the cheese, especially with the black cherry over there, it is a heat. So you want to cool down your mouth a little bit, just grab a little bit of mac and cheese.
That is literally what I did. I took a Brussels sprout, had the sauce on it, and then grabbed a couple of shells. And it like you get the heat, you get the flavor of it, then the cheese just kind of really like neutralizes the heat. So good. This, I wish our viewers could be here because this is fantastic as always.
I'm glad that this turned out way better than yesterday. Because yesterday, my wife could attest, she'll be in the chat. I was like halfway through eating, I'm like, I fucked up.
Just mad about it.
I'm like, I did it
Sitting
wrong.
and simmering.
She's like, you know, that like this is the first time you're trying something. And it's not like the first time you're trying this recipe with hot sauce. This is the first time you're ever doing this. And I'm like, yeah, and it's not good enough.
I need to be an expert at something I've never done before. God.
That's how I function.
You just don't understand me, Mom. It's not a phase.
I learned from watching you, Dad, okay?
Welcome to the Black Parade plays in the background.
You're right. The homemade one, when you pair it, does taste better. By itself, that one tastes better. Like the store-bought one tastes better as its own.
Yeah.
But the homemade one does taste better on the steak.
On the steak.
Yeah, and like John was saying, I really do pick up the berry like flavors with that. And at the very end, you just kind of get a little linger of the spice from it. It's not like it's super spicy. It's just like, oh yeah, that's right. There's hot sauce in there. Like it's delicious.
A little reminder.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I love all the hot sauce guys that we go to with the shows from you guys. Is it's all flavor. It's all, if you want hot, you could have hot. Like the black cherry over there is a little on the hotter scale. But I like that when you can cook with it, and that was kind of the reason I started doing these cooking things, was like you could put heat everywhere, but it's delicious. It doesn't have to be heat for the sake of heat. You could have flavor profiles of all of these different things that kind of just, and that was kind of what started, like when I started, I think the first one was the Big Mac. It was the Spicy Mac. There's like 8 different hot sauces in there. We used your jalapeno for the meat. We put it in as I was doing the ground meat, I poured it in. And I was just, but like, it didn't come across as you're having jalapeno meat. It just had the meat with like a tiny bit of spice at the end. It was just, I don't know, that's like my favorite part of cooking with all these things. It's, everything is hot, everything has a spice. You put it together, all of a sudden you get all these new flavors.
One of the things that's unfortunate, like I'll bring sauces that I'll try. Not our friends that we know, but there's, we'll try some of the show, and I'll let Chef John try it, and he goes, just need salt. And you can be this close. But if it's not seasoned properly, and there's people who don't use salt because they want to be healthier. But for me, the perfect sauce is you've got flavor here, like right now, in my mouth. I've got flavor, and I've got heat in the back of my throat. That's Ron. That's Ron working right now. That's perfection when it comes to a hot sauce. The flavor's here, and the heat's kind of back here. And different peppers, that's why we like to use the Reaper, because the Reaper does hit you. Certain peppers, like a scorpion, will hit you like here in the mouth and the tongue. We like using the Reaper pepper because it does tend to hit you in the back of the throat, so you can still enjoy that flavor. But yeah, right now, great job, brother. I'm serious. Like right now, I got a party in my mouth here, and I got heat in the back of the throat, and it's just working together. Just great job.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I just guess it's the guys who actually make the hot sauce that make it.
I cleaned my plate. It's delicious.
Congratulations, you can get dessert.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Elena made dessert. I have no idea what it is.
By the way, I did eat all of my Brussels sprouts. I can show the camera. I ate all of my Brussels sprouts.
That's my little Bobby Wobbly.
Yeah.
He's a big boy now.
Kindergarten teacher used to call me Bobby Boo Boo. Because every day she'd see me come into class with a new Band-Aid on, because I'm very clumsy. So I'd always have cut knees or wrists or arm just from tripping and falling like an idiot. So she just started calling me Bobby Boo Boo, and it stuck.
Oh boy.
So
I like how you're like an idiot. You were 5. You were 5 years old, Bob.
I was 5 years. I should have known how to I should have known how to walk by then.
Word hard sometimes.
Words are very hard, and I work in radio. You can see where that dilemma comes in.
That's why that promotion's just a little further.
I know. Come back.
Speaking of walking, it's like I have to fight the urge every time I see Yaz to not start going doon 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 doon. She's great. She was my neighbor up there. Just awesome. I definitely got to make sure I pop into her restaurant next time.
It was so good.
It was amazing.
Her restaurant was amazing.
That is a new Tabletop Trio tradition.
Yes, yes.
Try saying that 3 times fast. That is a new tradition for us going up to Boston now. Like, we have to leave earlier and get up there.
Make sure.
Make sure we get there.
We cut it close.
We did.
We got to try their cafe as well.
Yes.
Even get a Winnebago so we can all just travel together.
So
Yes.
Don't threaten me
doing
with a
that.
good time.
We're doing that for our paintball trip.
Oh my
For the
God.
first time.
So pumped.
out in Skirmish. And we go all the way out in the Poconos? I guess
Yeah, it's Poconos. Yeah.
Huge paintball event. Like 5,000 to 8,000 people show up, and you reenact Normandy, except it's paintball. But they have the beaches. It's a 2-day event. Everything is caption points. There's tanks. It's a crazy thing. We've been at this for years. We're getting a little older. One of my friends has a kid. He's like, she's 2. She's about to be 2. And we were
She's
like,
2
1.
already?
Sorry, 1.
Wow, I was about to say
I was going to
2
say, I'm
is
like,
like,
holy crap.
I was like, time doesn't move that quickly, does it?
So it was like 1 and change.
Yeah.
So this is the first year. I was like, dude, you gotta, like, you can't leave your wife. She's been at this with you this whole time. We can't just leave her home. And I was like,
We bring home with us.
we bring home with us. Let's just rent an RV. And he's like, what? And I was like, it's not that much more. Let's just rent an RV. And then my wife will go too, because it's loud there. And there's idiots shooting fireworks off, even though you're not supposed to. It's just not a great time. So I was like, let's just get in the RV. We have air conditioning. It's got a generator. We can relax. The baby could be there. You could still hang out with everybody. Best of both worlds. So that's what we're doing this year. It's the first year we're doing an RV. But we were going back and forth on Boston this year. We were this close to getting a boat. There was a boathouse, like right next
Boathouse?
to Harpoon.
It wasn't even a boathouse. It was a straight up boat.
It was. Well,
That
they
you
said
could,
it
we
was.
could have rented
Stay
on.
on, just to
It was
like
a
a house
stay
boat.
on.
It was in the Airbnb. It was a 2-person.
It was
They
like
call it a
a
boathouse, but like it fit 2 people.
yeah. It was like a 2-person, 2-bedroom.
What'd you expect? A 3-bedroom, 2-bath? It's
400
on a boat.
for $400 a night, a yacht.
So last year we were in a basement, right? And there was like 11 of us in there. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding
Plus-
you.
Plus old Sally
Literally.
Manila there.
This year we got, for the same money, we got like, it's like a brownstone, right? It was so spacious. We could have fit 20 people in there. The other thing, my whole mentality is like, I go to events and well, there's a trick, there's a hack. If you join like Planet Fitness for $10 a month, you can just go shower there, right? So I mean, like when we went to Smutty Nose last year, John pitched a tent. Maggie shows up like, oh, hey, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that way. My son John put a tent up on the property, and Maggie gets there, and she's like, it was like impeding on her, like into her tent. She's like, "What is this? Some homeless person?" I slept in my car. It's like, but I'll tell you what, up there, like it's like everybody goes, and it's so quiet. Mm-hmm. It's like you're at one with nature, and you wake up, and the sun's coming up, and it's like. It's the calm before the storm. Like everybody's tents are set up the day before, and it's cool. It's almost like a battlefield, Like speaking of which, have you guys ever been to Gettysburg?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Love Gettysburg.
so I mean, my buddy was a Civil War buff, and like he took me around, and we went into the woods, and he goes, "Okay, we're gonna walk out," and we walked like it's charged. He's telling me, "Okay, now we get to this point. This is where they saw Lee." And on the way back, and when he got to the fence, he's like, okay, now right now they were raining like coffee cans filled with lead balls and I didn't know at the time, like there were 2 kinds of cannonballs. There was, one with a fuse that they would explode overhead like shrapnel. And then he goes, but they would just shoot cannonballs into the ground and they would just like take off like, the carnage, like arms and legs.
Yeah, they just rolled.
You can't even fathom, So, but it was my cousin lives in Pennsylvania, and they've camped, and like he told me his kids when they were young, they were talking to people. 100% there's ghosts. Like they were definitely.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking to someone who wasn't there. Like it was pretty cool.
We did a ghost tour, one of the nights that my family went, and the one woman that was running the tour was like, oh, sometimes you may not see the ghost, but you'll you'll feel them or you'll smell something or something like that. And as we're talking there, my brother goes, "Oh, who's smoking a cigar?" And there was no one around. No one else was able to smell. And my brother smelled the cigar smoke. And everyone's like, "No, I'm not smelling anything, blah, 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 blah." And the tour guide goes, "Huh." It was one of those kind of things.
Wow, that's
and
awesome.
he met a ghost during the ghost tour. Like,
That's awesome.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, Gettysburg is such a beautiful place.
Oh yeah.
And just the, like you said, just walk around the battlefields and all that kind of thing. See all the monuments and everything. Oh, it's so nice.
So Joe, what do you got over there?
I don't know.
Let's find out together.
I truly
Should I
don't
move the
know.
camera to get a good shot of
My wife said she made something. I don't know what it is. I didn't give you plates yet because I don't know if I need bowls or plates or I don't know. We're gonna figure it out live. Yeah.
I'm genuinely terrified. I forgot that it does that. So the entire time we're eating, we had like this huge bird's eye view shot of us.
It looked good though. The aesthetic was there.
Yes, it was very artsy.
All I know is that it's pink. That's all I got because I can see pink around the outsides. Do I lift it? Is she in the chat? Do I just lift? Do I flip? I don't know what I'm doing.
I'd go with a lift.
Presumably lift. Right?
I would
Yeah.
assume a lift. Waiting for it to all just spill out. That looks amazing.
Strawberry cake.
I'm so happy you went with the lift.
That would have been.
If I did the flip, it was an upside down cake.
Yeah, they were working with something.
Straight that way in the hole.
That looks
Dun, 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 dun.
absolutely amazing.
The plating alone.
And yeah, could you imagine the disaster if there was a flip involved?
I would have done it.
I can see in the chat, do not flip.
You were way too late for that do not flip.
No, she didn't say it, but I was
gonna
waiting
say-
for
yeah.
it.
You were just entirely too late if they were in the chat. All right, so we do need plates.
I'm loving the ASMR of the plate noises.
We might need forks too. I took everyone's
I'll
forks.
get there.
Do you have a cake cutter? Is that a pie cutter?
Do you not?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I just turned 30. This is a recent thing for me.
I have 2 cake cutters.
See, I've always just called them shovels. That, in my brain,
That's a shovel. Yeah.
it's always just been,
this a
it's a
shovel?
spade, it's a shovel. It's a cake shovel.
No.
just no.
No.
Well, so,
Forks or spoons? There's a debate.
probably forks.
Cakes. Forks or spoons?
Fork?
I guess we got to figure out what's in it first.
Yeah, if it's like a filling, then you need a spoon.
It seems like it's layered. Also, I don't know what size slices we're going with here.
Whatever your heart desires.
Yeah.
You don't know if you want to do that. This would be like
That
6
is
slices
true.
of cake.
Joe can confirm after ordering food with Joe.
Yeah.
The one night in Pocono getting wings.
I regretted nothing.
Got 30 wings to yourself, and I'm sitting there. I'm like,
And sides.
I got a chicken sandwich, and Joe's like, wings and sides.
So it looks like strawberry filling angel food cake.
Ooh. I'd go
think-
spoon.
Oh, now it's spoon.
No, I'm fork. You gotta go fork.
No, I'm a
I'll go
spoon guy.
spork.
Are you
Cake is fork. Which there's also the argument of everything boils down to what is it? Cake, soup. Every type of food is cake, soup, or ravioli.
Yeah, what was the thing
I
that
used to
saw?
have.
I'd say sandwich has to fall in there. Like a hot dog's a sandwich.
It's like
Yeah, it was like sandwich, ravioli, or soup. Salad is just solid soup.
I hate you.
Am I wrong though?
I can't say with confidence.
yeah, I can't say in either direction.
Because salad is solid soup. Because salad is not a sandwich. There's no bread or anything like that.
I don't like that. Wait,
It's not a cake.
I love that all soup is witchcraft. You're going to tell me that we took
Brewing a
dead
potion.
animals, plants we found on the ground, and put it together in a pot and boiled it?
Yep.
That's witchcraft. That's straight up witchcraft.
Ange in the chat just goes, no, Bob, salad is not soup.
But, all right, Ange. Hot dogs or sandwiches? I don't care what you say.
Yeah, I'll
Tacos?
agree with that.
no.
Tacos or sandwiches?
Wait, did I get a piece of cake? I didn't get cake.
So does that make? Does that make? What's the beef Wellington? Is beef Wellington just the same as a Pop-Tart?
Yeah, beef Wellington is ravioli
Oh.
with extra steps.
By the way, speaking of Pop-Tarts, do not watch, if you haven't, the Jerry Seinfeld movie. So not funny.
I have not seen it yet. I saw
One fork,
like clips.
3 spoons.
I'm a fork guy.
It's because you're wrong. Spoon, fork.
I'm up under pressure. Fork. Okay, fork. No, spoon.
Well, John is never coming back on the show.
Half the table is correct.
That's it.
The other half up in the air.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a awful shot of me.
Hi.
Hello.
Look at that.
Let me know if I'm good to switch over. There it is.
There it is.
I nailed it.
Ange says, agreed, hot dogs and tacos are sandwiches, but you will never convince me that salad is soup. So what is salad then?
That's
If everything
not the
is
hill.
soup, salad, or sandwich?
That's not the hill. I'll
Or
die
soup,
on.
soup sandwich, ravioli.
No, there was one other thing. I think there were 4.
We gotta look this up. We gotta find the answer.
It's like,
Because under that, Pop-Tarts are raviolis,
yes.
which is the same as beef Wellington. It's the same
Yes.
family of food.
Okay, I think I found it.
All right, let's figure out what this cake
I
is.
believe all food can be categorized as a sandwich or a salad.
Oh, it's just sandwich or salad.
Yeah.
So soup is not a sandwich, therefore soup is salad.
Oh,
Or
Title-
salad is soup.
Title says it all. Any food that you can name is something that I can categorize as either a sandwich or a salad. There are no known exceptions. Tell me a food, and I will tell you if I think it's a sandwich or a salad. And I will explain why. That's the best part. The explanation.
the cake is banging.
Some conditions may apply, such as when the structure of the food is altered. think stuff like melting.
Oh my God, that is amazing. This cake is phenomenal. Thank you.
I'm on a rabbit hole. I haven't even tried.
By the way, Ange in the chat just goes, Bob, stop with this topic. It makes me mad.
So a scotched egg, Bob. Is it a sandwich or a soup?
It's a soup.
Why is it not a sandwich? It's breaded.
It's soup.
I don't know, man. I might go sandwich on this one.
Eggs boiled first. It's a soup.
But with it being boiled, it turns hard.
It's boiled. It's a soup.
So you're saying crabs is soup?
Yep.
Crab is soup.
Lobster
Lobster soup.
It depends. It depends.
I hate this so much.
Do you fry the crab? It's a sandwich.
You fried the scotch egg.
Yeah, but you boiled it first. Soup first.
But you're not done.
It doesn't matter. You boiled first. Soup first.
What if
This cake is really good.
What if I put boiled crab on a sandwich?
It's still soup. Also, you're wrong. And categorically a monster.
So I brought that argument up on air once on my radio show. I had one person call in and they said, Bob, you need new friends if this is the thing they're talking about. I'm like, oh no, trust me. I'm well aware.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes. But also, what do you think? And he's like, no. And just hung up on me. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks. This is so good.
So ice cream. Soup.
Yes.
So this cake is a sandwich?
Ice cream. Yes, this is a sandwich.
The consistency of this frosting is almost like ice cream. It's delicious. It's so
Yeah,
unfrosting like. It's not like
so this
heavy,
is
creamy.
my wife probably made this. Judging by what was missing in the fridge, there is at least a pint of heavy cream in it. Most of the strawberries that I saw yesterday are gone, so it's definitely those. So it's probably a strawberry whipped cream with a little bit of sugar. And then I believe this is angel food cake, which is one of my favorite cakes and one of the only boxes I have in the house of cakes to cook. I won't ask you to cook a cake, but there will be hints.
Have you guys seen the show? I forget if it's on like Food Network or like one of the main like 3, 6, 10, but it's called like Kitchen Detectives or like Kitchen Crime Scenes, where they show you the kitchen that was used for like whatever meal that was prepped. And like they'll show like empty bottles of seasoning or like flour on the table and different things like that. And then they have the chefs try to recreate that dish based off of what they saw in the kitchen. And at the end, they're like, oh, this is what they made. Let's see how close they were.
Huh.
Super cool concept. And I normally hate Food Network shows, except for like the game shows like those. Mm-hmm. It's a genius like concept for a show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love that idea. I
So
think it'd be really
you saying that,
interesting.
I'm like, you totally just played like Crime Scene Kitchen or whatever the hell it's called.
I'm good like that. I went to go grab cream when I got home, and when I opened it, I noticed it was gone. I was like, so you made something, and the cream is missing.
What could it be?
This is so good.
It was really good.
Fantastic.
Devoured that.
Yeah, that was props to 4 a.m. watching the chat.
Yes. Thank you.
How's that fork working out for you?
It's actually working very well. I'm just a very slow eater, and I've been talking this whole time.
That's okay to be wrong. You don't have to admit it on chat.
I
or
mean,
live.
why are you why are you using a spoon? Can your spoon do this?
Yes,
Yes, it did.
easily.
I will fight you on this. Spoons are the superior utensil
For cakes.
for
For
anything.
cakes.
Not for anything.
What can't you do with a spoon? that
Pasta.
you can do with it? Yeah, you can eat pasta. People eat pasta with a spoon all the time.
Well, they're
No,
wrong.
It's fork and spoon.
Shh, Joe, just be on my side on
I'm an
this.
Italian. That's both. That is a gray area. You need both.
I don't know. I think I can eat.
Unless it's the little shitty ones that no one wants, like the swirly ones that are like annoying as shit to eat. You don't use a fork for that. Use a spoon. Because I'm
See?
not sitting there eating one at a time.
Check and mate.
But
Spaghetti.
anything longer.
I can do it with
Angel
a spoon.
hair.
I can do it with a
Just
spoon.
because you can doesn't mean you
What,
should.
Yeah, what are you going to break it 400 times? Eat it like you're 3?
Maybe I will. Who knows?
Do you want me to
Spoon
like
is
cut your
superior.
pasta for you the next time?
What are you gonna drink? You're gonna eat soup with a fork?
I watched a guy
I've done it before. I'm not
watched
proud of
the guy-
myself.
3 days ago drink a fishbowl size amount of Mountain Dew with a fork. I think it took 87 hours. It's possible.
Why?
Just
I
because
don't
you have the
ask
power to do it
questions.
doesn't mean you should.
I watched it. It was not a small fish tank. It was like fish tank.
Fish tank,
Like-
Mountain Dew. Wow.
Fish tank. I'll find the video later. It was a lot. With a fork.
I imagine it's like watching my dogs try to drink water, because more water gets outside of the bowl than probably does in their like
So
mouth.
he was up on a chair, leaning over with the fork, just going
Just going to town.
to the house.
Doomed as a society.
What's worse, the fact that the guy did it, or the fact that Joe watched this?
Well, it was sped up very rapidly.
I
didn't
would hope
watch-
so.
I didn't watch 84 hours worth. It was probably like 45 seconds.
Still
You guys
very
know the
impressive.
story of the frog in the pot of boiling water, right? You know that
Yes,
that.
but it's been a long time.
So basically, if you take a frog and you throw him into a pot of boiling water, he'll jump right out. But if you put him in there and you slowly turn the heat up, That's our society, basically. That's us. We're like all frogs in a pot of boiling water. We're slowly being boiled to death. Hey, on that happy note, no, just...
Yeah, that tracks. But I feel like that is a pretty good jumping off point. No pun intended.
Jumping in point?
Yeah, jumping in, jumping out, jumping off. Whatever it is. John, thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Please,
Really
you
do
fed me. I
appreciate
mean,
it.
well, come on. This guy here, huh? Chef Joe over here.
So listen,
Thank you for having me.
You've invited us to a lot of things. I had to give you a favor back sometime.
Right.
Let me get down that simulator next time on that 24 hours of Daytona we're going to be putting on. We'll give it a go. I'm a hillbilly, don't forget, from Hunter County. You know.
Yeah, that I cannot wait for that. We'll have more of an announcement of what we're going to be doing with that very, very soon. Just waiting on a couple different pieces to be in play, but I can't wait for that. That is going to be so much fun doing a charity live stream and all that kind of stuff. But John, where can people get your sauce?
njsauce.com, and there are some assorted stores. We're not in a lot of stores, but typically, if you're out in Hunterdon County, Bishops and Whitehouse gave us our start, and they do a great job for us there. Schaefer Farms in Flemington, John and Jones Road Stand in Piscataway, Basil Bandwagon, Clinton, Flemington, Lambertville. Let me think where there's not many left. I'm gonna leave somebody out. Farm up there in Morristown, Whiteman Farms. I'm sure there's a few others I'm forgetting, but yeah, again, if you're not in the Hunter and Somerset County area, then njsauce.com. And again, guys, thanks.
Yeah,
Don't
thank you.
forget-
Thank you.
Dartboard, right? We got to make that a thing. That's we got to get that done for Saucetoberfest.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out with us here tonight on Tabletop Trio. Live on Twitch Wednesday nights around 8 o'clock Eastern, give or take. You could always check out the podcast video side of things on YouTube the next day. Same with podcasts, wherever you find podcasts. All the info you need, tabletoptrio.com. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
And I'm Graham.
And I'm Joe.
And I'm John.
It's been Tabletop Trio Podcast. Have a great night.